Imagine. First priest, come up and state your rank and register.
Come Ahmad, Banya Hawada, Banya Yasharala.
Come Ahmad, Banya Hawada, Banya Yasharala.
La Yasharala.
Hit the horn one more time. All right, we're gonna get into the prayers. From Hakwadam, we're gonna face the east. All right, Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakutka.
Malakutka.
Baba'ah.
Baba'ah.
Batazayaka.
Batazayaka.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Bashemayah.
Bashemayah.
Thulanawa.
Thulanawa.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Cal.
Cal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalak now.
Wasalak now.
Kabawaf now.
Kabawaf now.
Kasalak now.
Kasalak now.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Kabawaf Yanawa.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Kabayai now.
Kabayai now.
Onasaya 1.
Onasaya 1.
Abal.
Abal.
Hawashai now.
Hawashai now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Wahatapara.
Wahatapara.
I will love you.
I will love you.
In the English. Our Father.
Our Father.
Which art in heaven.
Which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth.
In earth.
As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day.
Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us.
And forgive us.
Our debts.
Our debts.
As we forgive.
As we forgive.
Our debtors.
Our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not.
Into temptation.
Into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us.
From evil.
From evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
So be it.
So be it.
We don't have the power. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Baruch
Baruch Hashah.
The Thulanawa.
The Thulanawa.
Hakak.
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 Parah.
Lawarapara.
Kal Makalah.
Kal Makalah.
Makal Madawa.
Makal Madawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Latahar.
Latahar.
Amatazari.
Amatazari.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Lahaquiel.
Lahaquiel.
Mahathim.
Mahathim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Rakal
Rakal
Amata'ala.
Amata'ala.
Lagarashan.
Lagarashan.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to bless Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wahayapayath.
Wahayapayath.
Saparium.
Saparium.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
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 Hagun.
Hagun.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Bahashim Yahushai.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
In the name of Yahushai.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
So be it. We're going to do the blessings.
Barak,
Barak.
Atah,
Atah.
Yahweh Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Yahweh Shai.
Why Maka'ala,
Why Maka'ala.
Wa'alahayim,
Wa'alahari.
let me see, Matazab, Ya'ah,
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana,
Alawap Yahana.
Alawapim,
Alawapim.
Hasaranyim,
Hasarayim.
Hakwatazanyim,
Hakwatazanyim.
Haka, let me see, Haka Yal Yam.
Hakayayam.
Let me see, Waha Salaki. Waha Wathim.
Wahawatiyam.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Hashem Yahushai.
The water of man.
The water of man.
Amen. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahweh Shai,
And Yahweh Shai.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the angels,
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana,
Commanding General Yohana.
the generals,
The generals.
the captains,
The captains.
the officers,
The officers.
the troopers,
The troopers.
and the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh Shai,
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalms 121. Aisha'ah.
Aisha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahariam.
Ahahariam.
Mahayan.
Mahayan.
Yala'ah.
Yala'ah.
Isariah.
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 Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Ragalka.
Ragalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yamawam.
Yamawam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Makal Rai.
Makarai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Afnapashka.
Asnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza Aska.
Taza'aska.
Wabawa Aska.
Wawaska.
Ma'aith.
Ma'ai.
Wa'ai Awalam.
Wa'ai Awalam.
In the English, I will lift up my eyes
I will lift up my eyes
unto the hills,
unto the hills,
from which cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The power is thy keeper.
The power is thy keeper.
The power is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The power is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by light.
nor the moon by night.
The power shall preserve thee from all evil.
The power shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The power shall preserve thy going out
The power shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Wa-Al-Tashakwat.
Wa'al-Tashakwat.
Al-Kayana. Al-Kayahana.
Al-Kaliyahana.
Wa-Yabyaka.
Yahika,
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Amika.
Al-Amika.
Ya'ara Yamwa.
Ya'ariyamwa.
Sawadah.
Sawadah.
Wayata.
Wayata.
Ya'aitazawa.
Ya'aitazawa.
Al-Tazapon one Yaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam.
Lakakidam.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Shem Yasharala.
Shem Yasharala.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Na'aitazawa.
Na'aitazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Laba. Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Al-Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
Baryath.
Baryath.
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wayashamai.
Wayashamai.
Alayam.
Alayam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagarium,
Wahagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'imawan,
Wa'imawan,
Wa'imalak,
Wa'imalak,
Kalashaf,
Kalashaf,
Anyashabia,
Anyashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Ma'ain,
Ma'ain,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarwa,
Labunya Lawat,
Labunya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadian,
Kamadian,
Kasiyah Sara'ah,
Tasiyah Sara'ah,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Bonakal,
Bonakal,
Koyashwan,
Koyashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Bayan Dara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zaman,
Daman,
La'adama,
La'adama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nadaya Mawa,
Nadayawa,
Kayara,
Kayara,
Waka Kazaba,
Wakazaba,
Waka Zabak,
Wakazaba,
Waka Tazal,
Wakazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kaunasaya Kamwa,
Kanasiyakawa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Naya Rasha,
Naya Rasha,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Af,
Ah,
Na'awaf,
Na'awa,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
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 Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagalgula,
Kagrawil,
Kwakwash,
Kakwash,
Laponya Rawaka,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Taba Ira Yaira,
Taba'ara Ya'ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakallah Haba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Ariyam,
Ariyam,
Kun,
Kan,
Daradapma,
Daradama,
Wasa Irika,
Wasa'arika,
Wabasa with Paska,
Wasawa Paka,
Tabalaham,
Tabalaham,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyaham,
Panyaham,
Kualawam,
Palawam,
Wayabakwashwa,
Wayabakashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Wayabahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayakaparwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayabadwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Wayadaiwa,
Kaya Asa,
Kaya Ata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labadka,
Labaka,
Al Yawan,
Al Yawam,
Al Kaharataza,
Al Kawarasa.
In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
hold not thy peace,
hold not thy peace,
and be not still.
and be not still,
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
for lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult,
thine enemies make a tumult,
and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people,
against thy people,
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation,
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee,
They are confederate against thee,
the tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a ram,
and like Zeb.
and like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all the princes as Zabah,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Zamun,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh
the
houses of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
Persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
in trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
right, so which means turn. The shot is going to be safe. I'm cool. It's only going to stand there, really. Once you sit down, it's fine. All right.
Isaiah 29:31. Book of Genesis, chapter 29, verse 31 in the Hebrew. Wayara'ah, Yahweh, Kaya, Shanawa'ah, Laka, Wayapatak, Af, Rakama, Warakal, Ikora, Watahar, La'ah, Watalad, Ban, Wata Quara, Shamwa, Ra'awa Ban, Kaya, Amara, Kaya, Ra'ah, Yahweh, Ba'ain, Yah, Kaya, Aita, Aita, Wa'a Habanya, Awashya, verse 33. Watahar, Aywad, Watalad, Ban, Wata'amar, Kaya, Shemai, Yahweh, Kaya, Shanawa'ah, Anakya, Wayatan, Laya, Gum, Af, Za, Wataquara, Shamwa, Shemayan. It's like it. Shemaiah 1. What? Watahar, Iwad, Watalad, Ban, Wata'amar, Aita, Hapa'ain, Walawa, Ayashya, Alya, Kaya, Yaladathya, Lawa, Shalasha, Banyam, Al, Kal, Khan,
So.
Quara, Shamwa, Lawaya, Yatahar, Ayad, Watalad, Ban, Wata Amar, Hapa'aim, Awada, Af, Wahawa, Al, Khan, Kwara'a, Slakia, Kwara'a, Shamwa, Yahawada, Wata Imad, Maladath. Chapter 30, verse 1.
Keep track with me. You get the clouds. Finish that too.
Watara'a, Rakal, Kaya, La'a, Yalada, Laya Akwar, Kwab, Slakia, Laya Akwab, Wata Kwaya, Kana, Slakia, Wata Kwana, Rakal, Ba'akta, Wata Amar, Wata Amar, All, Kwab, Haba, Laya, Banyam, Wa'am, Slakia, Ayan, Mata, Anakya, Wayakar, Akwab, Ba'akal, Waya Amar, Hatakaf, Alahayim, Anakya, Asherah, Manai, Mamak, Parya, Patan.
All right, Genesis 29 and 31. And when the Lord saw Rachel, and when the Lord saw that Rachel was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren, verse 32, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord has looked upon my afflictions. Now therefore my husband will love me. Verse 33, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord has heard I was hated, he has therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. Verse 34, and she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. Verse 35, and she conceived again and bare a son, and she said, now I will praise the Lord. Therefore she called his name Judah, and left bearing. Verse 30 and 1, and when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die. Verse 2, and Jacob was angry, and Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in Yahweh's stead, who has withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
All right. So Salaki, basically what we see in here, we seeing the descendants of Jacob coming out. You know what I mean? Is bringing forth basically what we got on what we call our 12 tribe chart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The nations of Israel that are being brought forth right here in this script, and the different sisters that bore them. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, that's the chart topper on that, man. This is the 12 tribes being revealed to you. Go ahead, any brother guy. That's something I want. Okay.
Shalaki, if I may, sir.
Go ahead.
It also goes to point out, Jacob, when he was looking to marry Rachel and was deceived by Laban, into marrying Leah first, and had to work another 7 years for Rachel. Mm-hmm. Even though he loved the way that Rachel looked, it comes to find out that just because of the way a sister looked doesn't mean that she always has favor in the Lord's sight. So,
Yep. That's that was out one or two verses above it or something like that. But with that being said, it also shows another thing that I saw was that Rachel had started to doubt herself, and she kind of put a little bit of that doubt into Jacob and made him question his dealings. You know what I mean? Made him think, was he, as far as dealing with her, was he favored by the Most High to have dealings with her? You know what I mean? And have a seed brought forth by her. So he went to seek counsel from the Most High regarding her, Rachel.
So, if I may.
Go ahead, sir.
Although it just shows the women in that day, the character of them, that in order to please her husband, she wanted to bring forth a son.
Right.
Or, bring forth children. And now it's almost seen as something negative. The more kids you have, where women, just the whole society, abortions and all that. But that was her gift to him.
Right.
Is to actually bring forth seed. And that's something we got to get back to,
right,
as Black Hispanics and Native American Indians. Because my cousin just had his 5th child, a couple days ago, and his brother ain't balling out, you know what I mean? But the world may be looking like, oh, you got 5 kids, and what do you do for a living? How you going? Right. That's a blessing, man. To have another child is more than gold, man, and that's something that we just. But that's all I gotta say.
Right. If I may, on that part, and you see, even on a wicked sister, you see the happiness and joy when it comes to her thinking that they still kind of want to give you that joy of bringing forth your seed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, this nation is so wicked right now that in the instance that they want to give you this joy, they want to take it from you too. And then they'll definitely be down there at the courthouse, and you're going to end up in prison or something because of the fact that as soon as this joy and a brother, brothers these days don't stick around. Like, as you can see, this brother was around for his kids. He was advising them. He was, brothers these days don't stick around as far as us noticing that he's going to be there for his kids. Brothers these days, it's so easy to pick up and pack up. You know what I mean? So that desire that the sisters have, I still see this right here in the spirit of the sisters, but in a more wicked, but the totality of the sisters are a little or more wicked. You know what I'm saying? Or would you say even then they still had that thing because they still had that in them?
I kind of lost a little bit. I'm not even. I'm not quite sure. You saying like today, you think they want to have the kids, but since the men ain't really there, that's why they don't want to offer them up as much, basically.
No, I'm just saying the spirit that they have is still like they want to give you these kids, but the ways are so much. They happy, like they say, oh, they talking to the brother. Yeah, I'm bringing out your kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing forth your seed, but then again, in the end, You know what I mean? I got your baby. You gonna always love. I got your baby. You know what I'm saying? So that spirit is still there, but the makeup in this society that we in right now,
twisted. Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So like if I may.
Go ahead.
Just to piggyback off what you're saying, yeah, a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, but a lot of them is just doing it just for child support, you know. They'll sleep with you just to get child support, knowing they can get something out of you, you know what I'm saying, and gonna have you, you know, so to speak, in that corner, you know what I'm saying? Bring forth your child so they can have you in the corner. You're gonna owe me now you owe me, you know what I'm saying? Don't even really care about you and care about the child, you know what I'm saying? They just know they're gonna get some money out the deal. You know?
Right. Or they trying to trap a brother, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Put him in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
And back then, the brothers knew that it wasn't, you know, they wasn't living by the divorce creed, you know what I'm saying? He had to deal with the one sister, and then he had to take the other sister, you know, the one he wanted, because it was just unlawful for the father to give away his second daughter before the first one was married, you know what I mean? So he had to do some other stuff to get her, but in his thing, he was keeping them all. Unlike a brother who bounced from, you know, house to house. Not to put this on the brothers, we talk about the spirit of the sisters and the joy that they do find when they come in conception, but they don't have them sisters around either to teach them how to nurture, how to be nurturers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The spirit that these sisters got on them now is to be dominant,
right?
And damn near, you know, feel, I got to fight for everything. I got to fight for, in the midst of you fighting, man. I don't want to lay with a boy you know what I'm saying? I don't want a heifer tougher than me who got the spirit of you know, one of the brothers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Mm-hmm. So that's the spirit that they taking on, and we all know it's a way to deal with a man. If you a woman, I mean, be subtle to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Be subtle and everything. I know we off a little bit, but at the same time, you know. It's passion in speech, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and in the midst of that, a lot of stuff can be covered at once.
Right.
So, with that being said, you know what I mean? The sister, I see the spirit of, because when I was having she was like, "Yeah, I'm having your first kid." You know what I mean? That was like, I'm locked down. I'm thinking like, shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? When I was in the world, I'm like, okay, then. All right, now that don't really mean that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Salaki, if I may, just real quick. You know, just also, you know, these sisters knew, just like our wives know, our ribs know, that we're here to build a nation. These sisters knew that the seed that they had was going to build a nation. When Jacob was there with his rib, hey, we built a nation. He had the promises. You know, he had the covenant with the Most High, so he knows what's going to befall him and his seed, right? So these sisters had a spirit, even though there was some jealousy going back and forth. They knew they were bringing forth a nation, right? Whereas now today, our sisters are encouraged to quash that nation, you know, to have abortions, you know, to treat their kids bad, so on and so forth, for them not to know who they are. So I just wanted to bring that out.
Right. Right. So okay, yeah. So
like you know, so we're here to once again here to build a nation, and that's why Isupk is the home of the truth, and we're the beacon for the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities.
Right. We the file and one, man. We the shot and the and one.
God.
You know, we what you should desire to be, brothers and sisters in this school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You should desire to want to be one of these brothers in this school, man. You should want to wake up with the zeal that brothers take on up in this school, man. In this brotherhood.
That's right.
Trying to put together these pillars to frame this kingdom. You know what I mean? Build this temple inside you so the Most High look upon you and see that you worthy of being a factor in his kingdom.
Right.
And that's what every brother here is striving for. So we could push on if everybody on the rap.
Book of Genesis chapter 30, verse 3 in the Hebrew. Wata Amar. Hana.
It's like the conference.
Amathia, Balahaha, Ba'a, Al Yaha, Watalad, Al, Barakia, Wa'abana, Gum, Anakia, Mamana, Watathum, Lawa, Af, Balahaha, Shapakatha, La'asha, Wayaba'a, Al Yaha, Waiquab, Watara, Balahaha, Watalad, Laya Aquab, Ban, Wata Amar, Rakal, Danana, Alahayim, Wagum, Shemai, Bakwalya, Wayatan, Lawa, Ban, Al, Khan, Kwara, Shamwa, Dan. Verse 7. Watahar, Iwad, Watalad, Balaha'a, Shapakath, Rakal, Ban, Shanya, Laya Aquab, verse 8. Wata Amar, Rakal, Napath, Yaya, Napath, the wall, yeah. Alahayim, Napata, Lathia, Aim, Ikathia, Bam, Gam, Gam, Wakal, the Ya, Yaka, Lathia, Wataquar, Wataquara, Wataquara, Shamwa, Napataya, verse 9. Watara'a, La'a, Kaya, Amada, Malad, Maladath, Wataquak, Af, Zalapa, Shapakata, Watatan, Ata, Laya Iquab, La Asha, verse 11.
Starting at 3, right?
Read 9.
Yeah.
I read 9.
You read 9. All right, Genesis chapter 30, verse 3. And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. Verse 4. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Verse 6, and Rachel said, God has judged me and has also heard my voice and has given me a son. Therefore, call his name Dan. Verse 7, and behold, Rachel's maid conceived again and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings I have wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. Verse 9, and when Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
God, it's a lot here. It's a I wouldn't say a pattern, but it's a thing taking shape here that you see that the sisters, despite the sister said she had to fight with these things, man. She said she had to wrestle with her thoughts. So that lets you know that even back then, that sisters wasn't at the most thrilled about their man having multiple wives, but at the same time, this is breaking down to multiple wives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The brother is. And it don't say he lusted after any of them. It don't say he went out. These are the things his wives wanted him. This is what his wives presented to him in order to advance his bloodline, because they knew that like Kassar brought out earlier, the more kids you had, you know what I'm saying, the more bricks you put into building this nation. So they knew that was the purpose of Jacob was to build his nation.
Right.
And in order for him to build his nation, this is what the sisters brought forth to him. If one couldn't do it and one had stopped, they brought, you know what I mean?
Right.
They presented their brother with another wife.
Right.
And as you see here, we done counted up to probably like 6 wives right now. You know what I mean? 6 or 7 that his first rib wanted to give him, then the second one wanted, you know what I mean? And then the third brought in.
Right.
All for him to sow his royal oats, man. You know what I mean? To bring forth this nation that we call Israel.
Right.
You know? And it's panning out right in front of your face. Just like you said, the sisters these days, they don't want to, man, they don't even want you standing next to a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let alone, you was talking to her. You was talking to her. It's over.
Right.
Hey, these sisters never. That wasn't their spirit. That wasn't the spirit at all. They understood that this man could have these things. And this is what the ISUPK bringing out. We know that this ain't for everybody, but it was right for Jacob. You know what I'm saying? It was right for Jacob, and it was saw to that. This is what he had. These are wives that he had. These ain't girlfriends.
Right.
These ain't women in different cities where he go creep and hey, don't say nothing to my wife. You know what I'm saying? Don't say nothing to my wife, man. You see me in the streets, don't come. You know what I mean? Don't come over there with that bull crap. I'm gonna look this way, you look that way. No, this was brought forth to the brother, and it was righteous. So like I said, the sister these that you can't even stand next to her, brother, because America has destroyed them from the fact that stuff like this could happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. Things like this could happen. You could take on another wife and bring forth the seeds of Israel with another woman. It's showing you right here. And like I said, it didn't say the brother was lustful. He was finding them at the strip club, you know what I mean, and turning harlots into his house. These were honest women, man. That his ribs was bringing forth to him.
Right.
Anybody got?
Yeah, so like if I may, one of the main reasons I could think of why the women are like that is one word that America pushes so much, which is a lie in itself, is the word equal. They push that everything is about equality, being the same. So women naturally think if a man can do it, I can do it.
Right.
This is okay for him, And I should be able to do that. It's like a default setting. They can't get outside of thinking when it's not even reality. America, whose bank account is equal? Right. They don't make sure everybody's bank account is equal. They don't make sure everybody's education is equal. They don't make sure the police treat you equal. And just off of nature in itself, I should tell you, men and women are not equal.
At all.
We stand up when we piss. Y'all sit down. It's not equal. You give birth to the child, we put the seed in you. It's not equal. 7 days out of a month, you got a cycle. It's not equal. But when it comes to having partners, women here just think it's got to be equal. And that's just not, doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean?
Right. You mine, I own you.
Right.
It's a difference between the word husband and wife. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference in that. Husband is masculine, wife is feminine. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like as I mean.
Go ahead.
Just piggyback what he was Saul was saying, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the world they make sure, you know what I'm saying, they get, you know what I'm saying, buying the strong man out of the house, you know what I'm saying, and then raise up the woman to be over the man. You know what I'm saying? They you know what I'm saying, notorious for that, you know what I'm saying, getting our men out the house, you know what I'm saying, and then whether it be going to jail or just, you know, not exist in the house anymore. Right. You know, but then they'll exalt the woman, you know what I'm saying, and give her this higher paying job so she can feel like that she's over the man, you know what I'm saying? She has authority over the man, you know what I'm saying? But they don't know, you know what I'm saying, what she's making is supposed to be, you know, for the man, you know what I'm saying? The scriptures say woman was made for man, man was made for woman. Right. You know? So we have to, we've gotten, like I said, America has taught this stuff, you know what I'm saying? America has pounded that into the head to our women, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I say, buying the strong man out of the house, you know, how you going to get the house is you buying the strong man, you know what I'm saying? And that's what America, they make sure, you know what I'm saying, that takes place, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, then they get a woman so-called, you know, what is it? What you call the card? What's the
EBT?
EBT card, yeah, EBT card, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, give them a little status on their job, you know what I'm saying? And then what they don't know is Esau is controlling her, you know what I'm saying? Right. Esau is controlling her in a fashion where, you know what I'm saying, she's now putting down her brother, you know what I'm saying, looking down on the brother and, you know, exalting authority over the brother. And that's how, and that ain't how it was set up.
So like if I'm at to send it in the definition, and I'll try to be quickly, just reading it said equal, same measure, quantity, amount, number as another, identical in mathematical value, logical denotion, like in quality, nature, or status. And it even says it in here. It says one that is equal, insists that women can be absolute equals with men. It's in the, you know what I mean, in the description of the word equal. And so just the biggest lie, like I said, is what's so powerful is they know if you tell someone to fight for equality, someone's naturally going to be on top.
Right.
No matter how much you say the word, we black people fighting to be equal, well, they know they still going to be on top. So you the dummy for believing it, you know what I mean? So men thinking, oh, my woman should be equal to me. They know that woman's going to take the lead. You know what I mean? So it's really a setup to just even teach that whole concept, man. Right. But these sisters knew Jacob was worth more than them, that he could have more than one woman. Right. You know, his value is that as opposed to one woman needing 4 men. That's all. That
damn seed that he was putting out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And also, I don't know if you brothers saw that damn meme that was out there, man. It said when a kid tells his dad he wants mommy, basically what he's saying is he wants to see your manager. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see that one.
He wants to see your manager, man.
Right.
He wants to talk to the person that's in charge of you.
Oh, man.
That's crazy, man. But then, like we just said, they talking about equal. Mm-hmm. But now she's the manager.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now she's the higher rank. She's the higher ranking officer in this thing.
Happy life, happy wife.
Happy life, happy wife. You know what I mean?
Happy life, whatever. Yeah.
So yeah, that's just how crazy this is. But like the brother brought out, they saw that David was more valuable than their ego. I mean, Salaki and Jacob.
Right.
Salaki,
go ahead.
I know we got to get on. I just want to talk about, the word equality. When you talk about equality, all it does is leads to our women being whores. Salaki. Because once again, they see us going out doing this work. They think they can go out and do this. Christianity teaches women that they can go out and do this work. Right. You're not built for this work right here. Right. Once you get a woman so-called teaching, so on and so forth, now she's usurping authority over man. Now because we can have more than one wife, she thinks she can have more than one husband. Right. And in the end, she ends up sleeping with multiple men, which makes her a whore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what the society is doing to our women, teaching them they can be equal. No, you can't be equal. Salaki.
Right. No. And Salaki, if I may, that's, what I'm saying, precept Jeremiah 10 and 2, learn not the way of the heathen. We just, we got so, we learned the way of the heathen so much, we just can't, just can't get off that, Salaki, they call, can't get off that titty milk. They just, they just feeding off of it so much, what I'm saying? Oh, no, but Salaki too, what Kassar said, what the Kassar brought out in the class, was the brotherhood class Tuesday, that women, just like we came out in Genesis, these, Jacob's wife brought these women, onto him, have this child, she fared with that, she didn't like, no, you can't do that, she knew what it was to build the nation. And when she was saying that class, she was just saying last week, a woman, it takes 10 months to have a baby, 10 years, you only got 10 kids. But if you got, you got more than one wife, you can bring, you can have 10 children a year, instead of one, and the Lord knew this, so that's why he made it so that can happen. And that's he's seen that here, he already knew, that's how we build our nation. Yeah, and that's why as a man can have more than one wife, and and a woman can't have more than one husband, because if she messing with 10 men, which you brought out too, she messing with 10 men and get pregnant, she don't know who's the father, Right. Don't know who's the father. You got to do, go through all these DNA tests or whatever, who is the father? Right. But if you got one man, who the father is. It ain't no guessing, ain't no two ways about it. You building a nation according to how God has set it up. Yeah, right. It ain't being according to, But like I said, we learn so much away of the heathen, Brothers don't understand, they can't just throw away their wives and they don't matter anymore, You didn't hear Jacob saying, I don't want you anymore after you didn't have my son, He knew what it was, Right. And then she, she wanted him to go in onto her handmaids, And on top of that, they wasn't women from another nation, Right. It was we were staying with our nation of people, We wasn't going out sleeping with the white woman. We wasn't going out sleeping with the African woman, the Japanese woman, the Asian woman, We were staying within our culture, which is what we're supposed to do.
Right. Salaki, if I believe that happened. This stems from, and it might be before, but I can see a good time where it started, especially when we came into this captivity over here, where the slave owner would force these damn women to be with other brothers. You know what I'm saying? Right. They would make these women lay with these other guys, and then men that when other slave owners came and they had parties with him and everything, and he wanted little Sally Mae over there. Sally Mae has a husband. You know what I'm saying? I want Sally Mae. I get her over here. I want to bring my stud down here to mate with Sally. She looks like a good, you know what I mean? It was never meant for a woman to experience the multitude of men inside of her. That you don't see that happening with these sisters. Right. You know what I mean? But I think that's a fair shake at saying where eventually down the line, these women started to take on that thing. You know what I mean? Because it was forced on them at first. Now equality tells them they can do that by trade, by choice. You know what I mean? Right. By you being equal.
This to get my Jeremiah Hyman on, man. And today, how is that going on? All these kids getting molested. They getting molested at a young age and getting raped and assaulted. they already thinking, one man, how can I be a woman? The first man I didn't even choose. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have to deal with another man.
Right.
And they never had, I think Muhammad said, since she never had control of her own body, they take control of it by sleeping with multiple men. That's their mind state has been reversed. So yeah, the slavery, that makes perfect sense.
Exactly. You know that last part you just said definitely ties into being taken. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then look at the wickedness that California just did. What, yesterday, the day before yesterday?
I heard about this.
Yeah, that law, that pedophile law, pedophilia, where a person can lay with a child as young as 4
years old.
It said 4?
11. I think 11, 10 years difference or whatever, something like that. So if you're 20, you see what a 10-year-old not be considered.
Wow.
11, 21, 12, 22, 13,
wow.
14, 24, something like that. From
what
I heard.
That sounds like that shit. What's the dude's name in Malcolm when he said if a woman is half your age times 7, you know what I mean? Right. She's worthy of you to sleep with her. You know what I'm saying? Right. Coming up with some old crazy numbers and stuff that, man, in today's society, these kids ain't ready for that. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody's a little hanky panky, but that's between kids. You know what I mean? The innocence is between kids. When you're a grown-ass man and you looking at a child and you lust over a child, man, you destroying that child. Mm-hmm. You're destroying that child, man, especially in today's society. You are destroying that child. All these perversions they got. You just turn the internet on and you see booty, butt, cheeks. Like they brought out in that episode you brought out Boondocks.
Don't put that on me. No, that's you brought that.
No. But I mean, you said with Malcolm when they said Martin Luther King came back. That's the song that was, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's all he was bear witness to. Yeah. You know, these kids, that's all they bear witness to. You go on there, you look, use the encyclopedia, and then the next thing you know, you getting an ad on there about what's the famous strip club in the city? What was the one with a brother who was paralyzed?
Oh, the Hustler.
Yeah, Hustler or something like that. But the strip club version, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Come wine and dine with us. Have a good time. But you know what I mean? We all get it. We talking about the spirit of these sisters and how they welcome Jacob to take on these wives. Salakia, man. Salakia. All right. We're ready to move ahead. Next reader up. Imagine.
Officer Kasar Pakad, Banya Howard, Banya Sharala.
Officer Kasar Pakad, Banya Howard, Banya Sharala.
So I can grab my sword.
And gave him another name, huh?
So we left off at 30 and 9, 30 and 10.
Just started 10.
10. All right, 30 and 10. All right, Genesis chapter 30 and verse 10. And it reads, Waithalad, Zalapa, Shapak, La'ah, La'aikwab, Van, verse 11, Wathamor, La'ah, Bagad, Ba'ah, Gad, Watha Korah, Shamwa, Gad, verse 12, Wathalad, Zalapa, Shapak, La'ah, Ban, Shanya, La'aikwab, verse 13, Wathamor, La'ah, Bashar, Sharaya, Kaya, Ashara, Wanaya, Banawath, Wathaquara, Shamwa, Ashara, verse 14, Wayalak, Wa'awa, Bun, Baya, Maya, Kwa'ai, so like Kwatazaya, Ra, Katayam, Wayamataza, Dawada, Ayam, Bashada, Wayaba, Atam, Al, La'a, Amawa, Watha Amor, Wakal, Al, La'a, Danaya, La'a, Laya, Madawa, the Aya, Banak, verse 15, Watha Amor, La'a, Hama'ait, Kwakwa, Taka, so like a tak, Ath, Ayeshaya, Walakwa, Kwath, Gam, Dawada, so like it, Dawada, Aya, Bunya, Watha Amor, Wakal, Lakan, Yashab, Kab, Imak, Halayala, Daka, Ba, Dawada, Ya, Kanak, verse 16, Wayaba, Waya, Kwab, Saki, Yaikwab, Man, Hashada, Ba'ira, Wathataza, La'a, Lakwa Ra'ath, Wa, Watha Amor, Alya, Tabawa'a, Kaya, Shakor, Rath, Yaka, Badawada, Aya, Bunya, Wayashakar, it's like Wayashakab, Ima, Balyal, La'a, Hawa'a.
All right, Genesis chapter 30, verse 10. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. Verse 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name Gad. Verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher.
For the daughters will call her what?
Blessed.
Because she did what?
She called it,
she brought forth the seed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the brother said, it was a beautiful thing for them to be doing this for this brother, man. Bringing forth these seeds. That's a blessing to them.
Right.
And America calls it a curse now. You ain't ready for no baby. You know what I'm saying? Wait till it's time for you to have that baby, man. Think about it. Planned Parenthood got your best interests at heart. You don't need a baby right now. Well, damn it, you did the acts of a person who was seeking to have a baby. And that act is supposed to be for a man and his wife, not some John in the back of an alley, you know what I mean, who condom popped and now baby being brought forth and nobody wants it. So that was a blessing to have a kid. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them unto his mother, Leah. And Rachel said unto Leah, give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes. Verse 15. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son mandrakes. Verse 16, and Jacob came out unto the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him and said, thou must come in to me, for surely I have hired thee with my son mandrakes. And he lay with her that night.
Just on that.
It's a good come in mind. Do you know what the mandrakes are? You know the breakdown on that?
Not the complete breakdown, no, it's flower. I know the complete breakdown.
Right. Joe Muhammad always talks about it. It's like an aphrodisiac. And so these sisters, he said, even though they have more than one wife, women still were, it wasn't just like heaven or, just, it wasn't never saying there was no problems.
Right.
And they were going at it, over these mandrakes because the man's going to be hyped up and he's going to tie fire, as we say in the truth. So they were going at it over that. And so they broke a deal and said, all right, you can lay with him tonight. I'm going to hold on to these mandrakes, and when he come with me, he going to tie fire. So that's something to, remember with these mandrakes. But
holding on to his Viagra.
Right.
Slipping him that Viagra.
Basically.
Right.
Basically.
Niagara, boy.
Right.
Natural.
Exactly.
Straight out of the plant.
Might need to find some mandrakes around here.
Mm.
Some natural.
Right.
That was
So, that was it on that.
yeah, we'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. Verse 17. Genesis chapter 30, verse 17. Wa Yashamai Alahayim Al La'ah Watha'ar Wathalad Laya Aikwab Bun Kama Yashaya. Verse 18. Watha Amor La'ah Nathan Alahayim Shakaria Asherah Nata Taya Shapak Tia La'ah Yasha. So La'ah Yashaya Watha Quara Shamwa Wayashasha Kor. Verse 19. Watha Hor Wa'ai La'ah Watha Lad Bun Shashaya La Ya'aikwab. Verse 20. Watha Amor La'ah Sabad Nawa Naya Alahayim Athya Sabad Tawab Hapa'aim Waza Bala Naya Ayashaya Kaya Waladafya Lawa Shashaya Shasha Bunyam Wathakora Ath Shemwa Zabal 1.
Here's what I found.
Verse 21. Wa Akar Yalada Bath Wathakora Ath Shema Dunya. Verse 22. Waya Zakar Alahayim Ath Wakal Waya Shemai Alia Alahayim Waya Pathak Ath Wakama. And verse 23. Watha Hor Watha Lad Bun Watha Amor Asap Alahayim Ath Harapathya. In the verse 23.
What was it? 17. Okay, Genesis 30 and 17. And the powers hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob the fifth son.
That's right there. It says when the power hearkened to, he listened to, he heard her. He heard her pleas and blessed her. You know what I mean?
Verse 18, 30 and 18. And Leah said, the power has given me my hire because I have given my maid to my husband, and she called his name Asher. Issachar. Verse 19, and Leah conceived again and bare Jacob the sixth son. And Leah said, the power has endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. Verse 21. And afterwards she bare a daughter and called her name Dinah. Verse 22. And the powers remembered Rachel, and the powers hearkened to her, and opened her womb. Verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son, and said, the powers have taken away my reproach. 23.
Yeah, so that last little bit, it said, then the Most High went back and remembered Rebecca, you know what I mean? And blessed her with a son. After she had done, the noble things by giving Jacob the sisters to bring forth seed before she could possibly. Then he remembered her, and he went back and allowed her to bring forth offspring. So basically what we went over today is coming forth of the house of Jacob, the house of Israel, you know what I mean?
Right.
And what we saw was that it took multiple sisters to bring this thing forth. You know, sisters coming together, working together, not saying it's not going to be some strife or something in there, or it's going to be some hard feelings or something, but you got to be willing. You got to be willing to do it. You got to understand these laws, the statutes and commandments of the Most High. You know what I mean? The job of any brother that's in this truth is to bring forth good fruit. You know what I mean? That's our job out here. We're supposed to go out and raise the dead, put life into dry bones, and bring forth good fruit to the house of Israel, to the nation that the Most High chose to be his favorite. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's our purpose. That's what the UPK stands on. That's why you see so many classes, so many brothers crying aloud.
Right.
Trying to wake up these dry bones, you know what I mean? Put life into the dead. Spread this truth across the planet so that the brothers can be righteous leaders in the kingdom. Because we done did our work. Now every other nation understands who the chosen people of the Most High are, and they get under our rulership. You know what I mean?
Right.
We come from underneath theirs, and they get under ours. And it's heavy. What I was thinking. The Bible is the Constitution, is the set of laws, statutes, and commandments written for Jacob and the house of Israel. Meanwhile, the Constitution of the United States is the Declaration what are they called?
Independence, Declaration of Independence.
No, the amendments.
Oh, yeah. Constitution.
The Constitution is the amendments that govern Esau, which go against the Bible. You know what I mean? Because Esau was against Jacob.
Right.
The Constitution gives the white man his legs to stand on. That's why they always talking about those things involved with the Constitution. Stand on your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, Third Amendment. Those things don't apply to black people because black people were never intended to be citizens of the United States.
Right.
When the forefathers wrote those declarations, we were slaves. And we were always supposed to be slaves. There was no such thing as, just like we brought out women fighting for equality, black people have been fighting for equality from white people the whole damn time America has existed. And it ain't the same. You know what I mean? we will never be equal to these people. So what the UPK under Commander General Yohana teaches is that, man, seek to separate and join your own.
Right.
Come together, O nation not desired. Put your woes, put your struggles aside. Come together. The building of this nation is bigger than one person. And if you are individualite and you in another camp or fake Israelite camp or something, then you're harboring the words of the Most High. You're not out here crying aloud to the people doing the work of the Lord.
Right.
You know what I mean? You take this truth home with you. Put it on the shelf at night. Then you wake up in the morning and put on a t-shirt with fringes on the bottom. And those I seen some things, them ain't even fringes, them tassels. You know what I mean?
Right.
Brother got tassels on the bottom of his shit. I was like, damn. He done took it to a whole nother level. They understanding is so out of this world because they're individuals and they're not taught by wise men. You know what I mean?
Right.
Put on this glory of the Most High. Get with the brothers in the UPK. Become a man of the Lord, a man of war, and come do battle for this truth. That's it for me. With that being said, Amijah, we're going to end this Sabbath service. You got those horns. You can hold on to me. I'll blow it again.
Lord Yashala.
All right, we're going to get into these prayers. Close out the Sabbath.
All right, well, Palm Hakwadam, face the east. All right, start with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Shabbat Shemayah.
Kodash.
Kodash.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Shemka.
Shukah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakwaka.
Malawaka.
Taba'ah.
Taba'ah.
Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ba'aratazah.
Ba'aratazah.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Bashemayah.
Bashemaya.
Nathanaw.
Nathanaw.
Lakam.
Lakam.
Cal.
Cal.
Yawam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknaw.
Wasalaknaw.
Kabawafnaw.
Kabawafnaw.
Asalaknaw.
Asalaknaw.
Kabawaf Yanaw.
Kabawaf Yanaw.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Kabayanaw.
Ayanaw.
Wanasaya 1.
Wanasaya 1.
Abal.
Abal.
Awashai now.
Awashai now.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Rai.
Rai.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Laka.
Laka.
Hamalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Wahata Para.
Para.
La'ai Walamyu.
I will love you.
Amen.
Amen. In the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
In earth.
in earth
As it is.
as it is
In heaven.
in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread,
And forgive us our debts.
and forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation,
But deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom,
And the power.
and the power,
And the glory.
and the glory,
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
I don't have the power. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Baba Koshai.
Baba Kashah.
La Thunder now.
The thunder now.
Hakak.
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 La Rapa'ah.
Rapa'ah.
Kal Makala.
Kal Makala.
Wakal Madawa.
Kal Madawa.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Tahar.
La Tahar.
Matazarian.
Matazarian.
Hakak.
Hakak.
La Hakwim.
La Hakim.
Mahathim.
Mahathim.
Hakak.
Hakak.
Al Rikawath.
Al-Rikawath.
Hamata'ala.
Hamata'ala.
La Garshan.
The Garshan.
Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
The Water Month.
The water man.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power the power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
We're going to bless Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanao.
Barak Lanao.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wahaya Bayath.
Wahaya.
Saparian.
Saparian.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Hashem Yahweh Shai.
The Water Month.
The water man.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect. The Williams family.
The Williams
The
family.
Hopkins family.
The Hopkins family.
The Fuller family.
The Fuller family.
The Harper family.
The Harper family.
The Lawson family.
The Lawson family.
The Warren family.
The Warren family.
The Price family.
The Price family.
The Taylor family.
The Taylor family.
And the Adams family.
The Adams family.
That's it.
The Thompson family.
The Thompson family.
The Gibbs family.
The Gibbs family.
The Harris family.
The Harris family.
Israel.
Israel.
The house of Kakam Ahmad.
The house of Kakam.
All of Israel.
And all of Israel. And Cheyenne.
And
The
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
And Calais.
And Calais. In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Blessings. Barak.
Barak.
Atah.
Atah.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Yahweh Shai.
Ma'aka Allah.
Ma'ayakala.
Let me see. Makayala.
Makayala.
Let me see. Wa'al Lahai. Wa'al Lahanyam.
Alahayim.
Wa'alahayim.
Matazab. Let me see. Matazab Ya'a.
Matazak Yah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawak Yahana.
Ha'al Lawapyim.
Alawapim.
Hasaranyam.
Hasaranyam.
Hakwataza Yanyam.
Akwatazayanyam.
Haka, let me see. Haka ya yam.
Yam.
Waha ak. What? Let me see. Waha ak wakyam.
Wahakim.
Bahashim Yahweh Shai. The Water Month.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commander Junior Hunt.
Commander Junior Hunt.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Psalm 121. Aisha'ah.
Aisha'ah.
Ayunya.
Ayunya.
Ahahariam.
Ahahariam.
Mahayan.
Mahayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Izaria.
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 Ma'ain.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Rugalka.
Rugalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yamyaka.
Yamawam.
Yamawam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Makal Rai.
Makal Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Afnapashka.
Afnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza Aska,
Tazalaska,
Wawa Aska,
Wawaska,
Ma'ait,
Ma'ait,
Wa'ai Awalam,
Wa'ai Awalam.
In the English. I will lift up my eyes
I will lift up mine eyes
to the hills,
unto the hills,
from which cometh my help.
from whence cometh my help.
My health coming from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The power is thy keeper.
The power is thy keeper.
The power is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The power is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The power shall preserve thee from all evil.
The power shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The power shall preserve thy going out
The power shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time forward
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
All right, Psalms 83. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al Damayalaka,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al Takarash,
Al-Takarash,
Al Wahat Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
Al Kayahana,
Al-Kayahana,
Wahayab Yaka,
Wayab Yaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawam,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Amika,
Al-Amika,
Ya'ara Yamwa,
Yahara Yamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayata,
Wayata,
Ya'aitazawa,
Yaitazawa,
Al Tazapun One Yaka,
Al-Tazapun Yaka,
Amora,
Amor,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'a,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum Yasharala,
Sham Yasharala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Na'aitazawa,
Naitazawa,
Lava,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Al Yaka,
Ayika,
Baryath,
Baryath,
Yakarwa,
Yakarwa,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarakwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Adama,
Adama,
Wayashimai,
Wayashamai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'aba,
Marwa'aba,
Hagarian,
Hagari,
Wahagarian,
Wahagari,
Gabal,
Gobal,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimawan,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'imalak,
Falashat,
Falashat,
Anyashabia,
Anyashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamasha War,
Mashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Ma'ain,
Ma'ai,
Ayawa,
Ayawa,
Sarawat,
Sarawat,
Labunya Lawat,
Labanya Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Ashalaham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya Sara'ah,
Kasaya Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Bonakal,
Bonakal,
Koyashwan,
Koyashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Nashamadwa,
Bayan Da'ara,
Bayan Dara'ah,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
Nadama,
Ladama,
Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Nadaya Mawa,
Nadaya Mawa,
Kayara,
Kayarab,
Waka Za'aba,
Wakaza'ala,
Waka Zabak,
Wakazabat,
Waka Tazal,
Wakatazar,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal Nasaya Kamwa,
Ka Nasayakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amorwa,
Naya Rasha,
Nayarasha,
Lanawa,
Nanawa,
Af,
Ah,
Nalawath,
Nawa,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
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 Shayatamwa,
Shayatamwa,
Kagalgula,
Kagalgula,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Laponya Rawaka,
Lapanya Rawaka,
Ka'ash,
Kaash,
Taba Ira Yaira,
Lava Ira Ira,
Wakala Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Talahat,
Alahat,
Arayam,
Aryam,
Kun,
Kun,
Naradapma,
Daradapma,
Basa Irika,
Basa Irika,
Wabasa Wafaska,
Wabasawa Paka,
Taba Halam,
Tabahalam,
Mala'a,
Mala'a,
Panyaham,
Hanyaham,
Walawam,
Walawam,
Waya Bakwashwa,
Wayabakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shimka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya Bahawa,
Wayabahawa,
Aya Ai,
Ayai,
Waya Kapara,
Wayakapara,
Waya the Iowa,
Waya the Iowa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abadwa,
Waya the Iowa,
Waya the Iowa,
Kaya Ata,
Kaya Ata,
Shamka,
Shimka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Labatka,
Labaka,
Al Yawam,
Ayawam,
Al Kaha Arataza,
Alkaharatza.
In the English. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace,
And be not still.
and be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh,
For lo,
for lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult,
And they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
Yeah.
They are taking crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people,
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gebal,
Gabal
Ammon,
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also was joined with them.
Asher also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zeb,
and like Zeb.
yea,
Yea,
all their princes like Zabah,
all the princes like Sabbath,
and as Zalmunna,
and as Zalmunna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh
the houses of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
Oh, my power.
O my power,
Make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the Most High
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Saw, which means turn. Men of Israel. Men of Israel, we're going to give one curse salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakathum.
All right, men of Israel, we want to give one courtesy salute to the sisters out there. Men of Israel, Amazon Shabbat, Amazon, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Yazamatah, class dismissed.